Hi JD here, Saturday afternoon, Easter Saturday afternoon. I'm going to ask you to do me a favour. Could you do me a favour? I've just spent money on getting a microphone that I can stick on the side of this phone so that my sound was better. I've had a few people say, look, enjoying your Facebook Lives, JD, but could the sound be better? Now, I don't know whether they're having a shot at my voice. But if what I'm going to do here is, by the way, introduce Gail. Hello,
Yes.
Gail.
Hi.
Yep, good,
Hi.
okay. That's enough of Gail. Thank you very much. So therefore, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to turn the camera around the other way and make sure that we don't have that usual
This is
that
a
happens.
test
This is a
run.
test run, okay? I know you're scrolling through Facebook and you've come across this and go, what, you want me to work for you, JD, for nothing? You want to tell me, could you just comment below if when I turn this around, I'm going to get out of the car actually and do this. When I turn around, can you tell me whether you hear a yeah? So I've turned the camera around to, gosh, here we are shopping at whatever it is, one of those homemaker places. And just tell me if you don't mind, please, you're doing me a big favour. I know that the starving children in Africa is probably a more important problem, but Gail, can you tell... Oh, okay, right.
Sorry,
fair
I'm
enough.
here, I'm
Okay,
here.
no, it's all right. I'll go and find someone else to help me.
I'm
Go.
here.
And you wonder why our marriage is in crisis. She will not help me do anything, for God's sake. Okay, right. Goodness
Okay, you
me.
tell me what you want
Okay,
to
so therefore, we're coming back now live to this side of it. Yeah, I just wondered whether or not the sound had that shh when we swapped camera. Okay, so I'll do it once more. You can just tell me. I'm turning around the other way. If you could just tell me whether or not it is going shh. Is it going shh, Gail? She doesn't know.
I don't
Okay,
know,
because
so
she's
we're
not. She's not watching it live. By the way, the heading on this particular video was go duck shooting in the duck season, and the reason I wanted to highlight that is because do you know that Easter Saturday is the biggest day of the year for supermarkets, for Woolworths, and not many people know that. They actually would imagine that if you asked anyone what was the biggest day of the year retail or for retailers, they'd say Christmas Eve, but it's not. Ironically, it is Easter Saturday. And when I was the national marketing guy in the Woolworths empire, it was such a surprise. We were shocked when we found that Easter Saturday blitzed Christmas Eve, and I guess it's because Good Friday is a holiday, and maybe we're all just rushing into the supermarkets on a Saturday. But we were just at the video shop to get this external microphone, which is not important in your life. I understand that. You're probably thinking, why would you do a Facebook Live about a market? Because it's important in my life, all right? So the thing is that, what's that? I could have put that on it. Looks like something I ran over, I know, but I could have put that on the microphone. Anyway, you're sitting here going, JD, this is like, I'm not going to get this 5 minutes back again. I'm sorry, tough luck, all right? It's all about me. The thing above, though, there where I says go duck shooting the duck season, we were just in the video shop getting this video for the what I'm doing right now, and I asked the guy, how was it? And he said, huge, absolutely huge. And my view is go duck shooting in the duck season, okay? So in other words, instead of spending a lot of money trying to build up Mondays and Tuesdays, if you happen to be in the retail or hospitality business, build up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And you might say, oh, yeah, but they look after themselves. Well, if they do and you're full, or you don't need to do anything. And I'm not saying don't have a shot at building up Mondays and Tuesdays. G'day, Pete Shreb. Goodness me, mate. I could actually give you your nickname, Pete, right now, but I'd probably be hauled off to jail these days, wouldn't I? Pete's a great friend of mine, and Pete, throughout all the years of us growing up and then going out to nightclubs together, we used to have a nickname for him, and Gail's shaking because...
Oh no, you're going to say it?
I can't say it. It's a particular colour, but I can't say it, all right? Because otherwise, in this world that we live in now, you cannot have a gag, can you, Pete? But good to see you, mate. Anyway, well, God, wouldn't it be good to catch up again, eh? Get Breeny to get the three of us together again, and Dominic. But anyway, look, the thing is that, yeah, go duck shooting in the duck season. So I remember at Woolworths when I was there, the board of directors or the senior management called me on one occasion and said to me, coming up to Christmas, JD, why don't we market January and spend a lot of money in January instead of in December, because December's big anyway. I said, okay, well, let me just ask you this, and this is the duck shooting, the duck season thing. Let me ask you this: how much bigger would December be compared to January? And they, 10 times. I said, okay, well, let's just pick a number. It's not a real number, but let's just say you do 100 million in January. You're saying you would do, a billion in December. And they said, yeah. I said, okay, if I spend a lot of effort and a lot of money on building up January and increasing it by 50%, what do you get? And they said, oh, well, 50% of 100 million would get 50 million. I said, good. If we did the same thing and built up December and got a 50% increase in that, what would you get? And they said, oh, keep marketing December, JD. Christmas is great. Go for it. And, the only exceptions that I see over the years, that have been able to, stimulate a bad trading day are the cinemas. And so therefore Tuesday night at the cinema with the half price special, but they worked on that forever. They worked on it and worked on it and worked on it and were prepared to lose money because they were the big cinema chains. You and me, being small businesses, we don't have that luxury. So my view is that when you know the money's around, then go for it. So therefore, if you're in the retail business, you know that that's going to be probably the latter end of the week when people have got their paycheck. You know that there will be big seasonal occasions like Mother's Day and Father's Day and Valentine's Day and well, not Father's Day so much. Nobody gives a shit about fathers for some reason, but certainly Mother's Day. And that's the truth, by the way. Father's Day in terms of a retail event is just a nothing, right? But Mother's Day is huge, almost like Christmas.
So I suppose that's why Myer and DJs did a half-yearly big thing once a year. That was their big deal.
Yep.
So they knew that they could drop their prices then, maybe, if you want to say that.
Yep. And thank you for that contribution, Gail. I'm very appreciative of that. I think I might give her a pay rise, yeah. But she's right, okay? I hate to admit it, but the point is that, yeah, they do. I mean, Myer and David Jones want to protect their brand, and their brand is upmarket. So for a little while there, they fell off the wagon, and they did have some sales throughout the year, and that was silly. That was affecting their prestige brand. So they woke up to themselves some years ago, and now what they do is have two sellouts, one mid-year and one Boxing Day, as you well know. So I'm not saying, when I tell everyone to, never concentrate on price, but rather value add, the whole reason of that is that you don't want to, join the race to the bottom in terms of dropping your pants all the time on price. What you want to do is that you want to create a value add. Let's call it a McHappy Meal toy, okay? Happy Meal toy, I should say. You want to, basically take their eyes off the price and onto the value, okay, or onto the giveaway. And so therefore, really, at the end of the day, price discounting to me is evil, but I'm not saying that you should never do it. You have to get rid of dead stock maybe once or twice a year, do what David Jones and Myer do, but don't do that every day of the week. And thank you very much, Gail, for that contribution, because that brought up another subject that I could display my incredible wizardry.
And that's what I was trying to show,
how clever I was. Yeah. Yes, okay. When I turn this off, she's going to say, "You are such a dickhead." That's what she's going to say. Okay, well, listen, have a good rest of the Easter weekend.
And hopefully you heard
hopefully that microphone thing
so
worked
please
really
let
well.
us know.
I'm going to turn it again. As I turned that around, can you please tell me that you did not get the shh? Just give me a comment below and say, JD, the sound was perfect right throughout, and we got to see Chemist Warehouse. If you haven't seen that before, so that was a bonus, all right? You know what? Let me tell you about a story with Chemist Warehouse. We have a pharmacy on board down in Victoria. They were getting beaten. I sound like Jeff Fennick then. They were getting beaten up. They were getting beaten. Love yous all, by the way. They were getting beaten up by, guess who? I switched the camera around, and Chemist Warehouse. And hopefully my sound did not go shh then. And I said to them, what sort of effect have they had on sales? They said, look, they've cut our sales by 50% because everyone's going to get their prescriptions there. And I said to them, well, who's your target audience? And they said, we've got an Italian, basically very much Italian, because they came out after the war and now they're in their 70s and 80s and they're looking for blood pressure tablets and all the sorts of things that doctors tell you to use. And they're not coming to us, they're going to Chemist Warehouse. How do we fix that? And I said, well, you'll never beat them on price, impossible. But what you can beat them on is wow factor marketing. They said, what should we do? I said, Italians. If you've got a lot of older Italians around your area, what do you think Italians like? Coffee. So what we did is we created a nice little coffee shop, cafe, Italian cafe with beautiful barista quality coffee in their pharmacy. End of story. Guess what? When, little Esme, I don't know that that's an Italian name, when little Maria, her middle name was Esme, when little Maria Esme Bonanno.
Dom's not on,
Yeah, Pete Shareb's watching still, you know what I'm talking. So little Maria Bonanno, when she wanted to, 84 years of age, when she wanted to get her blood pressure tablets, do you think she's going to go to, let me switch it around, is she going to go to that 40-ton gorilla called Chemist Warehouse? Or do you think she's going to go to the coffee shop the pharmacy, where there's a little Italian coffee shop, and she's going to have a piece of Madeira cake and a beautiful cappuccino? I know where and by the way, there's no need to set up waitresses at the coffee shop. It was a self-serve machine that the staff in the coffee shop would actually make the cup of coffee, but it was a press the button thing, but a Rolls Royce press the button coffee, so it was barista quality, and it had to be that. It couldn't be, one of these silly, sort of just make your own coffee things. So anyway, the thing is that within a month, they were back up to the sales that they used to be at, and they took all the business back from Chemist Warehouse. Do you think Chemist Warehouse was ever going to put a coffee shop in? Not a chance. They're just a discount chain. So, boy, oh boy, have I imparted quite a few ideas on this. I was just testing my microphone.
Well, hopefully, I'm just still hoping the microphone is actually working.
Hopefully the microphone's working because
We'll
you can't
see
get
now.
the text to run across the bottom of these Facebook Live. But there you go. Now, that's a Happy Meal toy for a pharmacy. They just created a little area of their pharmacy with half a dozen tables and chairs, created a beautiful little, we put the little canopies outside so it looked like an Italian coffee shop. How's that for outside the box thinking? If you don't mind, could you just pat me on the back there, go?
There you go.
Okay, I can't pat myself on the back. Okay, out of here, guys. Have a good long weekend.
See ya.